So I don't know if you guys know this. Well, you probably do because I've recorded it, but I have to do my laundry at my parents' house because there's no laundry machine at my apartment. There's a whole laundromat fiasco that I just went through a few days ago, and I'll have to tell you guys about that later. But basically, I have to take my laundry to my parents' house every time, which means I have to haul and roll out these giant laundry baskets. Like, I don't know exactly how long it is, but I would think like almost a quarter of a mile from my apartment to my car. And so because I have to do that and I have to load it into my car, onto my car seats are just gross all the time, and the floor of my car is gross all the time because I just have to do this once a week and it just makes everything gross. I don't have the time or money to clean it every time. But some good news is that we ordered a little like mobile washer or something, whatever that is. And so that's going to be coming in a few days, so we can finally not have to haul laundry baskets out. I'll have to do like one small load every night because it's very small. So I'm really looking forward to that, but until it comes, I'm going to have to do all of this laundry, which is like 3 or 4 baskets now because of the whole laundromat incident that I'll tell you about later. And then I'll have to do one more after this. After that time, I won't have to haul laundry baskets out of my house anymore. And yeah, that's going to be a huge time and energy saver. I'm going to start driving because I don't have time to wait around. Also, another update here. So last video I told you that we sent in an application for the home loan, and that was kind of like the pre-application. You filled out some of the basic stuff they need to know without like having receipts for it or anything, and then they just tell you if you're qualified or not by assuming that what you're saying is correct. And then if you get past that point, then you actually fill out the real application with all of the receipts and all of the documents and proof of everything and a bunch of other questions they ask. So we got past that point, and now they sent us stuff for the real application, and so we filled out about half of it, and then there's a bunch of documents that they need us to have to send to them. So I need to figure out if it can be virtual or if we have to mail it in. And then on top of that, I'm gonna have to either way scan all the documents. So that's gonna be kind of the project for today, is finding all of them. And then tonight when we come pick up this laundry from my parents' house, we'll scan in whatever documents we have. And then I don't know how long it's gonna take after that to, actually tell us if we got actually pre-qualified and if we can start looking for places and realtors and stuff. But I would assume it wouldn't be longer than like 3 weeks maybe, which is probably a really decent amount of time to find a realtor that I can start applying for. So I think this will move forward quickly enough for me, and that's pretty exciting. So I actually haven't recorded anything for like a week. Not really anything since my last video that I posted. There are a lot of reasons for that. I think me and my husband came down with a little virus, just a little bit. It wasn't anything super severe, but it was just, I was really tired and couldn't really do much more than like the bare minimum. And so, recording me doing the bare minimum wasn't really something I was prioritizing during that time. And on top of that, there was the whole laundromat fiasco that, again, I'll have to tell you about another time. This will be another probably really short video, just like last time, because I didn't record anything. Today is normally the day where I edit my video, and I'm just now like recording the first thing for it pretty much. So to say I'm a little behind schedule is an understatement. I did do a little bit of like organizing, and I'm actually kind of proud of some of the stuff I thought of for that, because I didn't have any money to spend to try to do anything for it. So I just kind of had to improvise with random things I had, and I'm kind of proud of it. So I'll probably show some of that. Can I just express how much I hate giant trucks on the freeway? They're like the bane of my existence, I swear to God. I think my hair has officially gained the title of ridiculously long. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get my hair out of my seatbelt now. Hey guys, guess what? It's January 8th and the grass is still green. So I feel like I kind of built up this whole laundromat situation more than I was trying to. I realized very quickly that it was way too expensive. I ended up only doing less than half of the amount of laundry I brought, and it ended up being $15 to wash and dry them, and I even took them home a bit damp. I still had to sit there for like an hour, maybe a little bit more, while I was waiting for everything to wash. All of the sounds of the washers and dryers going off, and a bunch of people talking there, and there were also a bunch of like really sketchy looking guys wandering around. Just the whole time I was there with all the noise and the threats around me and just everything, like by the time I was done washing my clothes there, I was so stressed that I had like started dissociating because my body couldn't handle the amount of stress I had. So I started dissociating, and it took until like today, so over half a week, just to stop dissociating. The powder detergent that I bought, the lid was so poorly made that when it got slightly tipped over in my laundry basket on the drive, the entire thing spilled out, and now it's just all over my car. It was like $20 for that thing of detergent, and it's completely gone now. That was just a whole nother problem because I was already stressed out and overwhelmed, and then I had already spent way too much money on doing not even half of my laundry, and then $20 worth of detergent being spilled all over my car was like the last straw. I completely lost it after that. Anyway, that was the whole incident, and there's no way I'm ever doing that again, so that was why I was dropping off laundry at my parents' house today. We got some gift cards from people, me and my husband did, over Christmas, and so we used some of that to get like this $80-something washer and like spin cycle thing on Amazon. So that's going to be coming towards the end of this coming week, and then when we get that, I'll just do a load every night. That's going to be way better than having to go to my parents' house every week to do it, and it's going to be way better than a laundromat, obviously, so that'll really take off a lot of stress that I have over everything. That's that whole story. I'm so glad that's over, and I'm glad that I actually am feeling better now, because it was really dark there for a bit. I was like sobbing every day because I was just so overwhelmed, but I'm feeling much better now, and I also have thought about a lot of things in the last week that I haven't really been filming or doing much. And I think that expecting myself, because I didn't really express this to anybody or to you guys, but my kind of plan was to make one dress a week that I could sell, and in the future it'll be my hope to make one dress a day. I thought, making one dress a week is not too much to expect if later I'm going to make one or more dresses every day. The fact that I was expecting myself to start doing all these things in such an unconventional, time-consuming, exhausting way, on top of starting making videos and starting a business from scratch, which I've never even done before, and then expect to make one dress a week that I can sell, on top of everything, and on top of me dealing with seasonal depression too, because it's the middle of winter right now. This is the hardest time for me, seasonal depression wise. Like, I actually started thinking about all of the things I was expecting from myself during this kind of downtime, and I realized that it's just ridiculous to expect that much of myself with all of the stuff that I'm dealing with because of the situation I'm in. And basically what I decided for like a plan with this is that I'm going to focus on just, taking care of myself. I'm going to focus on keeping the house clean and organized. I need to start doing meditation and working out so that I don't get to the point where I'm so like frazzled and dissociated that I can't make decisions that are going to be the best for me. I'm going to focus on those things. I'm going to focus on making these videos, and then if I have the time and energy to put towards working on a dress, which I think I definitely will have time and energy for that, then I will 100% do that, and hopefully in a few weeks I'll have a dress to put out. If that doesn't happen as fast as I'm expecting, then that's fine. I'm not going to pressure myself to work on a dress even when I'm exhausted and I know that I need to rest. I'm not going to put off cleaning or put off taking care of myself. Like, my health needs to be a priority right now because it's just causing more problems than it's solving at this point. I think I'll go ahead and show you some of the stuff I worked on yesterday. So over here, I used to have tons of stuff on the floor, and now it's just like a pan and a bag of potatoes that'll stay down there, and everything else has found a place to go because I took some things from up here on top of these shelves and put them on a bedroom shelf. So that should make things a lot easier to do and handle. So this thing, I have like several of them, and it came as like packaging for something that I ordered. I think it was like the shelves. Basically what I did is I put a couple tacks at the bottom to hold the weight, and then one tack here just to keep it from tipping over. And I put two of them up here, and then I just put my spices that I use most often on top of them there, which meant that up here where I normally was keeping my all those spices, that opened up this space to put other things that were taking up space here. It's a mess again because I have to put, you know, some things where they belong and some things are sitting out to dry. And now I can put them in here, which means that everything looks better. And also when I need to let things sit and dry for a while, I can totally do that. It doesn't really look good, like, at all. It's just some pieces of junk cardboard tacked to the wall. But at this point, I'm not looking for things to look nice. I just need things to function well enough to get out of here. So that's way better than it was before. Because of all those things, things will run a lot more smoothly, and I'll be able to have the time and energy to work on things like making my dresses, or coming up with more patterns, or just doing things that make me feel a little less stuck where I am. So also, I gotta say, I am like loving this dress more and more every day I wear it. I just got back from picking up the rest of our laundry. Some of the bed sheets are a little bit damp because we didn't want to wait any longer to pick them up, but that's okay. Most of them should be fine by the time we want to go to sleep. Anyway, I just thought I'd clear up a couple things that I didn't really talk through very well earlier. So one, me and my husband were sick. We thought that we had COVID because my little brother got diagnosed with COVID, and then my brother and my dad, who live in the same house, they both were having a lot of symptoms. They didn't get tested, but they assumed they had it because, you know, my little brother had it. They all live in the same house. And so since me and my husband were feeling sick at the same time, I thought like 100% sure we have it. But we went and got tested, and it came back negative. So we must have just caught something else. But something I want to talk about is when we did go to get tested, we first tried like the day that we suspected it. We tried on my husband's lunch break at around 2. The line was so long that it was like around several blocks. It was several blocks long, and we just didn't even try to wait in that line. It was obviously way too long. And so we just went back the next morning at like 7 a.m. as soon as they opened. And even still, the line was super, super long. Tons and tons of cars there. We ended up waiting 2 hours still. But we finally got tested, and it was negative, which thank God, because I don't want to have to deal with any of that right now. Something even crazier than that is that my mom is a school teacher, and, you know, her son, my brother, who lived in the same house as her, who she takes care of full time because he's still a child, she still has to go to work even though she's, you know, living in the same house and caring for a sick child with COVID because she hasn't tested positive yet. And it's like, with the lines that we have for COVID tests and all the backing up in the hospitals, and we've had more COVID cases and deaths than ever before at this point, and they're still having people who have people they live with confirmed to have COVID. They're still making the other people in the house go teach a bunch of kids, you know, go work with a bunch of other people in the same building. Like, that's insane that that's how it actually is right now. Like, come on, people. At least when someone is diagnosed with COVID in the same house, they should not be working. But I don't want to get too much into that, but I just thought that all was crazy. Also, I just thought I'd mention it was a little bit amusing when we were driving out of our complex to go pick up the laundry. There was some guy who was like in just jeans and shirtless in the parking lot, and mind you, it's not like super cold, but it's dark out now. It's been dark for a few hours, and it's probably gotten down to like, I don't know, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And he's out there shirtless, just screaming like it's a happy scream. It wasn't, too scary from the safety of our car, but just yelling and hooting and screaming and jumping around on all fours, speaking in tongues. So I think it's safe to say that someone went a little bit too hard on the drugs tonight. Yeah, by the time we got back, he wasn't there, so I don't know if he calmed down and went home, or if he just decided to go be a monkey in the other side of the parking lot. But either way, it was pretty entertaining, and I think a great example of a large percent of the people that live in this area. So yeah, I wish I had recorded that because it was honestly hilarious. It would have been a lot less hilarious if I was by myself, and especially less hilarious if I was not in a car, but I was with my husband in my car driving, so it was just hilarious. But just thought I'd put that out there. I think that's all I have to say, though. I've been talking a lot in this video, and I don't want it to be too long of just me talking, so just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope that you stay tuned for next week's video, because unless something else goes horribly wrong like it did this week, 2 things went horribly wrong, unless that happens again, next week should be a little bit more eventful, I guess, and progressive, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoyed this video to some extent, even though it's, not really what I'm going for, and I'll see you next time. Bye!